This is Sway.
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 In the morning.
In the morning.
In the morning.
Don't shake your body.
Wake your fuck ass up.
NAACP Image Award winner. Soul Train Music Award winner. Millions of albums sold.
Millions with a Z.
Independently.
Oh, wow.
In these streets.
In these
different.
streets.
What?
From Watts all over the world. It's my family, HB.
I know that.
I don't start off with my family. I say a lot of this is my family.
Right.
And it's been amazing watching this man's journey. I lurk him on Instagram.
What you doing lurking them?
I do too.
I get inspiration from him constantly.
Oh, that's different. Okay.
That's why I lurk him.
Okay.
At one point, it's interesting. Maybe I gave him words of inspiration, and now I look for words of inspiration from him.
Love is love. Iron sharpens iron.
There you
Iron
go.
sharpens iron.
Men sharpen men. Oh, that's it. It's time.
Tyrese is here!
Oh my God! Ladies and gentlemen, if you got a weak stomach, you better turn your radio off now. It's about to go down in the building.
Let's go! Let's start off. Heather.
Because he walked in and said, Sway, let's go in.
Yeah.
Let's
I'm
go
ready.
in.
Huh.
You've been all over the internet. You said Chris Rock should boycott the Oscars. That's you. You said that. That's
you
real.
ready to go in now?
Yeah. That's
No,
how I
listen.
do it.
Fuck the
I'm a
foreplay, y'all.
Scorpio.
No, that's right. Just come out naked. Don't be taking off one piece of clothes
yeah,
at a
no.
time. We in these streets. So let me be real with it. Let's talk about this.
All right.
All right? Now, you ain't got to agree.
Okay.
But I feel like it's very easy to make this white people versus black people. That's not what the issue is here. We're talking about blatant racism and discrimination that's happening. And racism shows up in many forms. I've also talked about how if Adele, Sam Smith, Justin Timberlake, or Robin Thicke were to sing an R&B soul song specifically, it's not only being played on urban radio, but it's being played on mainstream all across the board. Why is Adele's song Hello almost in the top 3 on the urban adult contemporary charts? Because it's being supported by urban radio. We're not saying you're a white woman from Europe. We're saying this is the best song going in the world. And if it's great, we're going to play it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what your race and nationality is. So let's not play that game on both sides. So Chris Rock, I'm not saying you step down just because I'm bored and I'm saying let's stick together as black people. I'm saying the days of just being a work for hire black man or a black woman to deflect the attention away from what's really going on, those days is over. Don't try and get in where you can and be used as, we do love black people. We got a black host. We do love black people. Reginald Hutland, who used to be the president of BET, is the producer of the overall Oscars. Okay, that's cool. You also brought on 20 or 30 directors, producers, writers, and executives to be a part of the voting academy members, and then they'll tell you that we came here as African Americans because of the controversy to have a voice, and now that we're here, we realize that we still don't have a voice because nothing has changed. So at the end of the day, I'm saying that man has to feed his family. That man has a career. He's a genius.
Yeah.
I've watched every stand-up comedy show. I've watched every movie. Chris actually hit me a couple times trying to get me to do movies with him. So I don't have a beef with that man.
Right.
And I'm not doing this for press and media because I don't need it. I'm not lacking in that department. I'm saying at the end of the day, if that was Ellen DeGeneres or if that was Andy Cohen of Watch What Happens Live and the word got out that they are purposely and maliciously leaving out anybody who may decide to be whatever, gay or homosexual, LGBT, and they are purposely, if you're gay or homosexual, you can't be nominated. They would have stepped down as being a host a long time ago on behalf of their community. So at the end of the day, I don't need the attention. I'm not after the controversy, but there's enough false prophets out here in the world. You got 70, 80 million followers, and all you want to do is promote your shit. Get off your hands. Stop running around here focused on you on a narcissistic level, and let's talk about what's really going on out here.
Right.
Because you're probably not going to be known for how many records you sold or how much you're worth and how many cars and how many chicks you done smashed and ran through. Are you going to use your God-given stage of influence to affect change? And you don't have to agree with me. But I'm not attacking that man as a black man. You go do your job. Even if you decide to move forward, you're probably going to crack your jokes and trying to dress it and be political and this and that because he's a smart comic.
Yeah.
He's not, running around doing ratchet comedy.
Right.
He's a man with a message. But I'm saying the biggest message that you can send right now is you step down and you align yourself with other black African-American directors, actors, editors, special effects, producers that were purposely and maliciously left out. That's how you make a statement. So that's it. That's how I feel.
That's how you feel. He can't. If he doesn't step down, what would be the alternative, or is that the only way?
Listen, if he doesn't step down, he's going to decide to move forward. He'll say, Tyrese, because I never claimed to be the biggest star. I never claimed to have a lot of influence. I'm just me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? So I may not be able to influence that man to step down. However, if you decide to move forward, good luck. I don't think there's no jokes, there's no approach that you can have with going about hosting the Oscars with the blatant racism and discrimination that's happening in that organization that can make anything better.
What can make it better? Because we don't know the world of Hollywood.
This is going to make it better. Sparking a dialogue.
Okay.
Having a conversation about what's really going on. And more importantly, if you don't stand for something, you're going to fall for anything. Come on. Grow some balls. Like, what are you afraid of?
Right.
They're going to blackball me. Let's talk about all the obvious stuff that people fear.
But that's what it is.
I don't want the blogs and the press and the media to attack me. I don't want anybody to not green light any other projects in the future. What about the future generations? You've already made your damn money. You've already cracked all your jokes and done your share of movies just like I have. They may decide to blackball me. I would go work at McDonald's. I'll go do whatever the fuck I gotta do to survive and get money out here. I'm not concerned about being kicked out and chucked to the curb. I'm grown. I fear no man but the Lord Jesus Christ.
Word.
That's who I am.
Say Jesus.
Tyrese is here. We've seen you do this in the music business when you decided to take your career in your own hands and put your
And
music
that's when
out.
I finally became successful.
Is
in
that
music.
and that's when you became successful, right? People are fearful, though, Tyrese. We don't know Hollywood. Give us the insight. I personally felt if Chris Rock wanted to do that show, he has the right to do it.
Of course.
And I felt like he would have no bigger stage to do exactly what you're saying. If he wanted to speak on the disparity in Hollywood, he could use that stage to
as
get
a platform.
As a platform.
Listen, man. What I love, again, is I would love to sit here and convince the whole world. First of all, I don't have a racist bone in my body. I am not considered an angry black man because I'm not an angry. I got some of the biggest teeth in my mouth you'll ever see in your damn life.
Yeah.
And I actually know more white people than most white people, okay? I got friends of all many races. My manager, who is the president of my overall company, is Latina. And I got every nationality there is, race, religion, sexual preferences, all across the board, all around me. I don't play those games. At the end of the day, when you got the cover of USA Today, the cover of the New York Post and New York Times, and they're putting the Oscar organization on blast for being whitewashed. There was a white man who started the hashtag Oscar So White. Wasn't a black man. It was a white man, for sure. So at the end of the day, I'm just speaking on reality. White people have a problem with what the white people are doing in that organization. It's not just a black versus white issue. Listen, it's very simple. If you happen to be a homosexual or a gay or a lesbian and you're the best person for that job, you give that man or that woman that job. Their sexual preference has nothing to do with their opportunities, period. If you are putting down the best work, if you are contributing to Hollywood, there's never, in the last 3 to 5 years, in the history of cinema, there's never been more films that have grossed over $100 million consistently from African Americans in the history of cinema. Do your research, period. So at the end of the day, we are contributing. And it's not fair if it feels like we as African Americans are only being recognized in the Oscar organization when you play a slave, a nanny, or a housekeeper. Okay? We do more than that. We got bigger colors, bigger talents beyond that particular field. Okay, what you gonna do? 13 years a slave? 14 years a slave, a sequel? What you got coming up? What you got? What you got? How many more housekeepers and nannies do we got to play and slaves to end up winning Oscars? Now, more than likely, because I'm speaking on it, I'm not going to be nominated purposely. They're probably going to purpose it. I can put on my best. I can go play any role.
Yeah.
And I'm always going to be overlooked for the history of my career. But guess what? I don't mind taking it on the chin. Listen, my song Shame is #1 for 13 weeks.
Yes. Grammy nominated.
Yep.
2 Grammy nominations. My album Black Rose was #1 in 15 countries.
Yeah.
And you know what's really sad? That if Sam Smith, Robin Thicke, or Justin Timberlake had sung Shame, my album and my song would even be bigger. And that's just wrong. So guess what? If you gonna hate me, dislike me, blog about me, write about me, create a bunch of random ass headlines on your website just to drive traffic and make me out to be a monster, I know who I am. I go to sleep really good at night because I know what I stand for, and more importantly, God knows my heart. I don't need the fucking attention. I don't need the attention. Listen, I never claimed to be the biggest star. I never even claimed to be an A-lister. My biggest movie to this day is Fast and the Furious, and it's like 15 people on the damn roster. I'm doing my part, but I'm not #1 and #2 on the call sheet. Okay? At the end of the day, the days of us as black men, black women, celebrities, athletes, entertainers, stop sitting on your hands and being afraid of resistance and feedback because of the comments in your damn timeline. It is time to speak on it, address it, and talk about it. That's how things change. What's going on in Flint, Michigan? What's going on with the blatant racism and discrimination that's happening? Why is that man and that woman not getting a job and they're the best thing for the job because of their sexual preference? What's happening?
What after the protest? I mean, I know Jada Pinkett Smith, Will Smith, others have come on board to join this protest.
But they're talking a lot of mess about Will and Jada, and Will is my mentor and my hero.
Yeah.
Changed my life forever. But they're saying, and they're catching a lot of heat, and I understand why people are saying this. They're saying that they're catching a lot of heat right now because they're only going public because Will's movie was left out. And, you know, I can understand how people are saying that because it's like, well, if you got a problem with the Academy, why didn't you have a problem with the Academy prior to this? And I can understand that. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I can understand how people are coming at them. But I just think I don't have a nomination. I didn't have a movie that was up for a nomination. So I feel like people are paying attention to what I have to say because I'm not coming from a racist place. I'm not an angry black man that's attacking white people. I'm saying that there's a problem with the organization, just like I'm saying that there's a problem when it comes to mainstream radio. iHeartRadio, mainstream radio, whoever you are, you're the decision maker. What you're doing is wrong.
Why is it wrong?
It's wrong because I don't create, as an African-American black man who is talented as a motherfucker, I don't create limitations for myself. I am not a black man that's only supported by black people. I wouldn't have over $6 billion in the box office if it was only black people showing up to support me in what I do. I would have never sold this many records in the history of my career if it was only black people supporting me. Okay? I wouldn't be in a movie like The Fast and the Furious if I was a racist because I specifically want to do that movie because it's a multi-ethnic cast, because that movie represents who we are in America right now. You look on my Instagram, I just had Azim, who is Indian as it gets, in my backyard, popping and turning up. It wasn't just another black man invited to my backyard to eat my teppanyaki on my teppanyaki grill. I mean.
Okay.
He has a restaurant.
Yeah, I got a real restaurant in my backyard. I'm getting money out here in these streets. Don't play with me.
I'm mad at that. You slipped that in there. Hey, but let me ask you this. You don't want a handout. You don't
I want nobody to give me shit. I want to work for everything.
Yeah, and you don't want Hollywood to give handouts. I think Viola Davis, many people said we just want to be play on an even
That's
playing
right.
field,
Yeah.
right?
That's it.
Yeah.
So after this, what would be next, though? Like, because
Listen,
the Oscars will be around next year. And,
Listen, it's a dialogue, and guess what? It might happen again next year.
yeah.
But the pressure is on for them to decide to do things differently. Listen, they put a black woman as the president of the overall academy,
Yeah.
right? And she's the only one out there speaking on what's going on. Listen, it's what are we doing in Hollywood? You know, they have a thing they call props.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in a movie set, this is a prop.
Right.
The gun is a prop. The car is a prop. The
Telephone,
telephone is a prop. That's a prop. We got the prop masters.
Mm-hmm.
Are we doing prop masters right now? Where you got the black woman who happens to be the president, but yet she has no influence to change anything that's going on with the voting academy? They just allow for 20 or 30 different directors, actors, writers that are all African American to join the voting academy on behalf of the lack of diversity and all of the blatant racism and discrimination and all of this hype. But the people that are now a part of the academy, off the record, have said to me and others, we came here to change things. We came here to have a voice. And now that we're here, we realize we still don't have a voice. Because now the academy is able to say, why y'all talking mess about us? You got 30 black directors, actors, and influential people all here as voting academy members. And they still decided to vote for all these white movies too. No. You came there to have a voice, and then when you get there, you realize you ain't got. We came here to talk. Let's talk about it, baby. No, we don't want to hear what you got to say. But didn't you bring me here to talk about it and change things? Yeah, we did. But we just want to minimize the heat that we catching, and we want to put y'all and prop y'all up and make reference to you, the president, and make reference to the other people, and not really change things. But change will come. Because the dialogue and the press and the PR that's happening is going to force them to change things. I promise you.
Change is actually happening, and sometimes we don't recognize it for what it is. Mm-hmm. If you look on Tyrese's Instagram, you'll see him partnered up with Oprah Winfrey, who has her own network, who's running your new show, right?
Absolutely. There's a show between me and Rev Run,
mm-hmm.
and it's called It's Not You, It's Men. Right? Well, should have been called It's Not You, It's Me, because there's a whole lot of ratchetness happening right now with the ladies.
Yeah, they are.
Plenty of women out here having babies and dropping them off at their mama and grandmama house while they twerking and popping all day, every day in clubs.
Yikes.
Scandalous.
It's a lot happening in these streets.
I hear that side of it.
But, he's a very married man, 21 years.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very great. He's a great father. And I'm single right now. I've been single for about a year and a half. I was in a relationship for 5 years on the low. But I'm single and I don't like it. Aww. So I'm out here as a single man trying to figure it out. I'm trying to work my way up the ladder. But, I feel like the divorce rate is the highest it's ever been. And in America, we got the highest. But yet we're all Christian and faith and this and that and all the above. Something is wrong here. Something is happening. Something is broken. So as far as we're concerned, this is not a show as men bashing men, tearing men down, giving away all the secrets. So, fellas, y'all ain't got to worry about that shit. It ain't happening. Not on my watch.
On network, 9 p.m.
However, we are definitely looking to spark a dialogue. And we're saying if we can give you the heads up of what's around the corner before you get there, new thoughts, views, and perspectives that can have for you to do it better, make bigger and better decisions. It's very simple. Every woman I know of wants to get married. But a lot of women are not conscious of this. You really want to get married because you seek the validation from your homegirls. You want your girls to see, look, he married me. He took me off the market. He made me feel like I was worth settling down and getting married. But this is not the Super Bowl. This is not the NBA championship where you get the ring and the game is over. When you get married, the game just starts. Right? So I was married before, but I didn't marry her because I was floating above the clouds. I married that woman so that she can stay in the country because we had a baby on the way and she was from Europe. That's my truth. Soon as we got married and she got her green card, I filed for divorce because that's what the plan was. So when I get married again, in my mind, it's going to be my first time getting married. I'm not flying to Europe every time I want to see my baby. I'm not doing that. I'm not contributing to the deadbeat daddy population.
Yeah.
We're talking about men. right? We're talking about men who would rather wait in line in the cold for 7 hours for a brand new pair of Jordans, and they never go to parent-teacher conference, have anything to do with their kids. We're talking about women who are bitter, mad, and angry and go out of their way to block access to that child because of the way they feel about the man that they decide to have unprotected sex with and co-create that child. Why are you bitter and mad? That child ain't got nothing to do with what you and that grown-ass man decided to do. Now you don't like him, you hate him, he cheated on you, he lied, and whatever, and this is the way you feel. However, you're raising a son who is going to realize my daddy hated me and never wanted to rock with me. But the truth is your mama is going out of her way to stop that man from calling, texting, and getting access to that child. That's called parenting alienation. It is illegal to alienate that man from that woman. It happens both ways. There is a such thing as a man brainwashing his kids to hate the mom. And you're creating loyalty conflicts in that innocent child saying, should I love mommy? Should I love daddy? Listen, if your child starts acting different when they're in the presence of mommy and dad, that child is conflicted. Mentally, spiritually, and psychologically, that child is damaged. And that's probably why they're struggling in school as well. Because it's hard for them to focus on their education when they're thinking, when I leave here, if I'm with mommy, I gotta make daddy feel like I don't really love him as much in the presence of mommy because it's gonna piss mommy off. A child should not be thinking about that when they're young. They should be focused on being a kid. So you look it up and do your research, men and women. Locally, in California, it's called a 730 evaluation. It's illegal. It's called parenting alienation. It is illegal to brainwash, mentally bamboozle, and poison the child's mind to create venom in that child against the father or the mother. It's illegal, and you need to look into it.
It's not you, it's men. This is a weekly show?
January 23rd on the OWN network. It's coming on once a week. We pre-recorded 8 episodes. It's not live.
That's tomorrow.
And it's coming on tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tyrese, let me ask you real quick because I know you have to go. Oprah Winfrey has her own network.
Yes, sir. Love that.
Tyler Perry created his own industry.
Yep.
Because he couldn't get through certain doors. He made the industry himself.
Yep.
Isn't that the change that we're looking for to support, these platforms, BET,
right?
Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry?
Well, here's the thing. I would love to say, because I can't overlook or not recognize the African-American movement and the African-American entrepreneurship. Right?
Yeah.
I can't overlook that. However, I think at the end of the day, if you got a problem with anything that's happening, fix it. Right? If you ever want to invent something, pay attention to what people complain about. Most of the people that end up owning radio stations first was an on-air personality who got tired of their boss treating them like shit. So they said, you know what? I'm out of here. I quit. I'm gone. And most of those decisions is based on self-love. I love myself too much to sit here and be on the receiving end of you, monster. You're crazy. Because you make more money than me, because you got a bigger title than me, motherfucker. You gonna treat me like shit? You out your mind. I'm out of here. And that becomes your bottom line that allows for you to love yourself enough to walk out that door. That's why marriages and relationship ends. In most cases, you'll say, I love myself to too much to sit down and be on the receiving end of whatever you want to dump on me this week. I'm tired. But guess what? I am every bit of an entrepreneur. I fear no man. I fear no community. I fear no one but the Lord Jesus Christ. That is my Lord and Savior. I sleep good at night because I walk in my truth, and I realize, listen, God knows my heart. When I'm dead and gone one day, God forbid that ever happens anytime soon because I got so much more to accomplish before I close my eyes. But when I'm long gone, they're going to be able to say, that man stood for something. And my value is not based on what's in my fucking bank account. Okay? When Martin Luther King was assassinated on that balcony, when he marched and put his life and his survival on the line on behalf of humanity, not just black people, humanity. Nobody listening to this radio show right now can tell me how much Martin Luther King had in his bank account. What size was his rims on his car? Was it leather? Was it cotton? What kind of sound system did he have? How many women did Dr. King touch? What was happening? So everybody out here caught up in all the wrong shit. And in the end, none of it's going to mean anything. You out here popping bottles with models and turning up. I get it. I done lived and got a lot of shit out of my system too. But you grow up real fast and you start realizing that your diamond chain that costs $150,000, that shit ain't gonna mean nothing when you gone. Nothing. What did you stand for? Were you bamboozled and allowed fear? You allowed fear to take over your life, and you lived your life and okay, I don't want to say nothing. You're an old slave. No, sir. No, yes, sir. Well, no, I'm not gonna say nothing about that, sir, because they might attack me, sir. I might not be able to work in this town and sing in this town and do nothing in this town. No, sir. Come on, man. I'm a grown ass man, dog. I'm grown, and again, I never claimed to be the biggest star. I'm sitting there saying I'm not an A-lister. As a matter of fact, I'm not even interested in being an A-lister because I don't even want all the fucking pressure that comes with all that fame. I don't want to be Jay-Z and Beyonce and Rihanna and Vin Diesel and Will Smith. Every time they go anywhere, there's cameras, Kim Kardashian, whoever, Kanye, they got cameras, people in front of their houses taking pictures, chasing them, stalking them everywhere. Yeah. I don't want that shit. I love being regular. I happen to be famous. If I wanted to get attention, I know what restaurants to go to that's always got the roaches in front of them with their cameras. If I wanted to arrange press and paparazzi, I got people's numbers in my phone. I don't want it. I stand for something. So I'm just letting y'all know it's not in everybody's cards to speak. It's not everybody's cards to mean something and stand for something. Some of y'all will live the rest of your life sitting on your fucking hands, complaining at home, and using your thumbs to talk shit. Mm-hmm. Look me up. Google me, homie. Use your computers. Look up how many marches I've done. I've marched with Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson when there was voter suppression happening in Birmingham and Memphis. I stand for something. I'm in these streets. Okay? So I'm not running around here just talking shit through social media like most. And I'm saying if you got 50, 60, 70 million followers, you're a singer, actor, athlete, a political figure, billionaire, millionaire, use your influence that is a God-given stage to affect change. Because you should assume that until you speak on it, because most of these people look up to you over Jesus Christ or Allah or it's like if you don't tweet it, Instagram it, post it, talk about it, you should assume that no one even knows it is going on. Mm-hmm. So why have that many followers if you're not going to speak on it and stand for something? So I don't know how much heat I'm going to catch from doing this interview and talking about it, but guess what? I am not afraid.
Tyrese.
And that's who I am.
Tyrese.
And while you at it, make sure y'all tune in tomorrow and watch our new show, It's Not You, It's Men. My co-star, my co-host is Red Run. Very married man of 21 years, and I'm very single. And these topics is real. They're uncomfortable. They're raw. And if you got a weak stomach, you oversensitive, you extra sanctified, this ain't the show for you. And while you at it, I need your love. I have no pride and no ego. My album is called Black Rose. I want you to download it, Google Play, iTunes, go to Target, Best Buy, Walmart, and support R&B soul music. I love you. And here's my song, Shame. Mainstream radio still ain't playing my shit, but it's #1 for 13 weeks on Billboard, and this is why.
It's Sway in the morning, only on Shade 45.